Congressman Mike Quigley, representative from the state of Illinois, joining us now. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'd rather be doing anything else than having to talk about the President of the United States in this manner.
On a summer vacation weekend, no less. You've heard by now,
of course.
It's
just painful to address it this way, that's all.
Well, tell us about your reaction. First, let's go to a clip, one particular point that is particularly poignant. Let's listen.
If you are told reliably from your allies, from your friends and supporters in the Democratic Party, in the House and the Senate, that they're concerned you're going to lose the House and the Senate if you stay in, what will you do?
I'm not going to answer that question. It's not going to happen.
He says it's not going to happen. What are your thoughts? What's your reaction to that? Do you agree that the president says that it's not going to happen?
I'm not sure I share his confidence in that. Look, this was a busy week. It was a holiday week, as you described. I think a lot of members are processing what they saw and what it means. Polling, a really effective polling, can take 4, 5, 6 days. And all those frontliners are assessing what it means in their races. So I think you'll see a sharper reaction. I think you'll see more members talk as I have about the concern here. I'll tell you, though, the thing that frightened me that the president said today was, as long as he gave it the best, that's all that matters. No, all that matters is beating Donald Trump. And it's not about that team effort or that spirit. The whole reason I'm talking about this is the specter of a second term for President Trump and what that means. President Biden is absolutely right and justified to talk about an historic record of what he brought us from, the edge of autocracy, what he's done on climate change, what he's done about issues of choice, and so many other things. It's a proud record. But if he continues in this vein, I don't think he wins. And I'm very concerned of the impact that'll have on down ballot races. And as you know, the House and Senate are decided by a handful of votes and seats, and those are a handful of votes. So, of course, top of the ticket is going to be absolutely critical.
I'm curious what moved you, what you heard in the debate and tonight that helped you signal your openness to replace Biden as the nominee. And how do you feel about that tonight?
You know, I began the week, and this, again, I'd rather be doing anything than talking negatively about this campaign because I just respect the man so much. What changed so dramatically for me was the fact that they began the debate way down in swing states and not showing the strength to move up. The status quo wasn't going to do it. And of course, a disastrous bad night, but far more than that. And to me, it's going to be very hard for the president to have the vigor it's going to take to not just get the status quo, but to bring back where he was. You know, right now, the base is a problem, and he's going to get beat by those swing voters. And a lot of critical voters who could be with Democrats are likely to stay home if the election were today. So it was a tough race. It's brutal now. With the greatest respect, I don't think he's up for it.
And if he does step aside, how does the process unfold? Should the president pass the baton to Vice President Harris?
Well, there's a process, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because, again, I want the president, he alone makes this decision. So I'll give him whatever time he needs to get to that point. I have the greatest respect for the vice president. I think she's an extraordinary candidate. But, you know, right now, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We need to focus on a day-to-day situation and how we move forward there. The process is in place. There's a way to do this, particularly if it's before the Democratic convention.
And we know there are a lot of conversations happening behind closed doors. ABC News has learned that House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is going to hold a virtual meeting with House Democrats on Sunday. And we know Mark Warner is assembling senators next week to talk about a potential replacement or to ask President Biden to step aside. Do you think the writing is on the wall?
Look, I think there's growing concern, and as this week has passed, people have processed this, tried to understand it more thoroughly. I think this is going to be an intense week in D.C., never mind all the issues and critical issues that are taking place on the floor and in the country and the world. The political realm is going to go into hyperdrive this week. I don't want to characterize where those meetings are and how and what their intentions are, but this was what people will be talking about all week.
Mike Quigley, thank you so much for your time and for your insights this evening. Appreciate it.
Thank you.